Good morning. Good morning. What's going on, you beautiful people? It is 3:05 a.m. I am on my way to the gym, and as usual, that is the place that I decide that I'm going to take over the day. I wake up with a mindset that is set to do specific things, to do it in a specific way. Today was a little bit different. The reason why I say it was a little bit different is because today I woke up and I had this extreme sense of gratitude, this extreme sense of thankfulness, this extreme sense of today was a good day. And I went into my office, and Ricky had been putting together our finances, giving us a picture about what our finances look like, meaning what are we actually spending every single month. Not including business expenses, not just what do we spend every single month, and giving it a thorough breakdown. And as I'm looking at it, it hits me. That's a lot of money. I mean, I probably didn't get 100% of everything in there. I probably only got about 90%, a fair amount of the big ticket items inside of there. But I said, wow, that's really a lot right there. But do you see how once it's written out, it becomes a lot, but yet you found a way to make it happen every month? It's not until you start writing it down that it becomes real. And as I'm heading out the door, I'm listening to, I think it was Dwayne Dyer, and he started talking about something that Eckhart Tolle had said, or somebody had said regarding what if we get to the end of our life and we find out we did it wrong? We lived a lie. No, what if we got to the end of our life, we found out we lived a lie? And then I go back to thinking about writing down everything, looking at it, and seeing how real it becomes. You see the transition between what we think and what we know once we actually get it out our head and get it on paper. See, in our mind, it's always easy to believe that we don't have what we need to get done, what we need to get done. But once we write it out, it becomes more real. The vision becomes something tangible. It's not just trapped in your mind, trying to escape, trying to get around, trying to figure out what it's going to do. And all these ideas start coming to my head. One is scarcity. How am I going to pay this? Maybe I'm not making the right decision in this. But who's to say what's the right and wrong decisions? Versus saying, what should we manifest that's in our mind and turn it into reality? What do you want? What do you desire? Why are you delaying? Why are you constantly stuck in a state of get ready, almost, going to? It took me so long just to come to that point of yesterday of saying we need to see what our finances are. We need to see what's going out. We need to see what's going out. We need to know what's coming in. We need to disperse our money. What are we giving away? What are we wasting? What are we being neglectful with? Miseducated about? What mistakes are we making? You see, my finances were directly tied to, and how I handled my finances were directly tied to how I handled most aspects of life. Didn't have a clear idea, didn't really know exactly what we were doing, just had a feeling, just had a hunch, hoped that that worked out. Hoped that that was enough, hoped that that was adequate, hoped that that would work. But nothing concrete, nothing solid. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And I may have wrote my goals down. I may have put the pictures on the vision board. I may have done all these things, but yet I wasn't complete. And that's what most people are doing. They're running around. Picture this. Picture somebody putting on a really nice suit but having some dirty underwear on. You got this really nice suit. Matter of fact, you even shaved up. You shaved, you got this nice suit on, your socks is fresh, your shoes is fresh, everything fresh. Then put some cologne on, and then you put the old dirty underwear back on. That's what it's like when you are all in one area, but half in over here. You spread out. You're 50-50 all over the place. You're not all in. You're not committed completely. And part of being committed is being able to take those thoughts and those ideas and all those concepts that are inside your head, put them on paper and be able to visualize them, put them in front of you and put together a real game plan. The crazy thing is that even though I may not have gotten it right, I have these abilities to now share with my kids. One of my biggest prayers is that I'm able to break these chains and break these bonds. And one of my biggest prayers is thank you that there was somebody, a grandparent, a great-great-grandparent, somebody in my family line who prayed that the chains would eventually break because they may not have had the ability to do it, but they prayed it going forward and said, I need one of my relatives. I need somebody in this family line to break this because what we see for this family is bigger than just today. So I got up with this thought of this vision and this concept and this feeling of good. Of good. Of no lack, no scarcity. Of clearness. And you got to remember something, that clearness, it doesn't just come, it doesn't come overnight. It took a lot of getting the alcohol out of my system. It took a lot of consistency at being at the gym. It took a lot of discipline of what I ate. It took a lot of discipline of not smoking weed. It took a lot of discipline of not fornicating. It took a lot of discipline to lead me to this point. You gotta go through some things before you get some clarity. Stop asking for the world to be delivered to you on a plate when you're not ready for it. See, because the fact of the matter is we all have the same ability to understand and rationalize the same exact things that I'm talking about. But why does it take some of us a long time to come to the conclusion? Why? Because you're not ready for it. So why have the finances not hit you the way that you want them to? You're not ready for it. And the reason why you're frustrated is because you know you have bigger and better and greater inside of you, and you're tired of living hand to mouth. But you're living hand to mouth because you're not ready for what's next. You're not ready for the promotion. You're not ready to sit down. One thing I sat down when I looked at the finances that I noticed that my wife didn't put on there was our life insurance, our CPA, the things that allow us to balance our finances need to be included as a list of priorities. Why? Because when we start learning where to put our money at, then we start being blessed with more of it. That's why I can look at the sheet of expenses, and I can look at it and I can say, hey, I've been doing it. It just so happens now it's manifested on paper. But now I can draw a diagram, and now I can redirect funds, and now I can see where my expenses, where my miscellaneous expenses are. I say, okay, I can take a little bit out of here, and I can put it over here, and then I got some right here, and I can take this and put it right here, and then I can make this right here, and then you sacrifice. You thought that when you got the money, you weren't going to have to sacrifice. You thought that when you got the money, you weren't going to have to give your 10%. You thought when you got the money, you weren't going to have to pay yourself. You thought when you sacrificed, you thought all the sacrifice led up to a point where you didn't have to sacrifice anymore. At what point do you think sacrificing or serving is an end? Sacrifice and serving are the beginning. Your sacrifice and your service is the beginning of what the process is. So as long as you live in those two mindsets, you never have to worry about getting to the end of life and saying, did I make a mistake or did I make the wrong decisions? Because service and sacrifice will almost always keep you in a state of abundance. But you got to get it out of here, and you got to get it out here, and then you got to be able to look at it and make sense of it and start rolling around the Rubik's Cube of your mind until all the sides and the colors start matching up and life starts to make sense in your direction. It doesn't mean that life gets easier. It means that you just move to different problems. You move to different situations. But you never have to worry about that happening if you just stay still and do nothing. Do nothing new, get nothing new. But if you want to see a true difference and a true change, stop trying to think that you only have to improve one aspect in your life. Everything that you want is directly tied into how you handle it. And you can't say that, well, I handle this great, but yet I handle this horribly, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And until you get that inside of your soul, inside of your heart, you will continuously struggle. And some people take it to their grave. My advice is don't let that be you. Because you've been given a gift of this life. Some have been cut short. Some have not seen the full potential of what they had in store, their gift. You're still here. You can still hear the sound of my voice. It is time to go after what you want.